the avian right there. That's what the basic, I guess, female concept for an avian. And the males would have more of like a hippogriff, like thick mane around their necks. It's like, I'm thinking of them as like the kind of dwarf species, because they're a little bit smaller, and so literally they have their manes braided in specific ways, and it's like different braids represent different houses, represent different cultures, and stuff like that. So you can tell like what basically family an avian male is from based upon the braid of his mane. Remember, if you can't say fuck you to your friends, who can you say fuck you to? Fuck you! For the males, something like this. And a little bit different for the females. Same way how I'm doing, like, for instance, this is like a female avian. Male avian.
This long.
Alright, never done this before. Oh, it doesn't even seem that hard. No, I was right, about 10 million health. He did. He literally can't even hurt me. Is that gonna kill me? That hurt. Stand your ground! Maybe we'll get our first level 20 gem. We got it! We got one! But as always, remember, if you can't say fuck you to your friends, who can you say fuck you to? Fuck you! You still don't like the grammatical hyphens and not having sentences between paragraphs, figuring out where I should split the paragraph, stuff like that. I mean, it's interesting. This is where we're just gonna have to go from like image to image. And I even love the curved beak because of the way that their beaks work. See, this is okay. This is really close because of how the avians actually evolved. And the way that they evolved is essentially the octopi built sky cities, and they started off with just like perches with vending machines, and then they like taught them that if they like use the vending machine, they get food from the vending machine, and it's like eventually all the birds just like sat and lazed and just didn't do anything except eat out of these vending machines, and their hands moved up and their bodies extended. Take him. Welcome to the stream. Yes, ask away. What is up? How's it going? Welcome, welcome. Would you consider yourself a ladies' man? There is opportunity here for massive joke. No, I'm a lady man. I'm a cross-dresser. No, I'm not really a ladies' man. Didn't expect that answer? Yeah, no, most people don't. Ain't nobody got time for you to put some makeup on. Wait, how old are you? As always, remember, if you can't say fuck you to your friends, who can you say fuck you to? Fuck you! Quasi, thank you for the follow. How's it going? There's only 2 genders, Trump said? Yeah, I'm a cross-dresser. I am a male. Just cause a woman wearing pants don't mean she a man, and just cause a man wears some makeup don't make him a woman. How can you not extrapolate that to say that any woman that wears men's clothes is in the same way? Still, in a lot of places in the world, women can't wear men's clothes. Why is it to say that the culture can't change, since over time, take an extrapolation that over time, we have allowed women to wear men's clothes. So why not, after an appropriate amount of time, allow men to wear women's clothes? So the fact that you can't even extrapolate the fact that there's 2 sets of clothing means maybe you should go back to, like, the drawing board. You're the one who brought it up. I'm just chilling here, just doing my own thing. You completely are free to have that opinion. I mean, I am a writer. I love fantasy. I love other cultures. I love other ideas, ways of being, thinking. So, thanks for watching, and as always, can't say fuck you to your friends. Who can you say fuck you to? Fuck you! I have 5 short stories, and one of them is mine, and all the other ones were written by AI. A plot, a location, a time period, and a character. So the goal is to figure out if you can find which one was AI. I wrote the story, and then I got the AI to copy that story, plot, and everything, and come up with its own. And then I used that. So all of them were structured exactly the same. Are you a writer? Do you like writing stories? I am writing a book, a novel, as well as like a compilation of short stories. And it's like using the short stories as basically like a workout for my writing to develop the novel. I've been doing this for about 15 years. And so far we actually finished Chapter 1's rough draft yesterday, and we are, on that note, in the process of putting it into Grok to fix all the grammatical errors. Final Fantasy based book that the hope is to get, like, be good enough that Square Enix endorses it, basically. I rewrote the Yo, welcome back. So, today, we went through and we did all of the annoying shit that has to do with the Viceroy. So, we connected together the Viceroy reign and the Monarch reign for inauguration switches. So we have, at the beginning, both of their deaths are the inauguration of the next. So the year 98 and the year 123, so there's like kind of separate reigns that are kind of like overlapping and then move into the next one. Like 0 to 98 overlaps, and then like 98 to like 171 and 189. So once we get to the 4th reign, which is the beginning of the adventurers, because there's an extra step on this side with the Viceroy. So there's been one more Viceroy than there has Monarch, but it kind of just puts things in line for this year for 249 and 267 for the evolution of the Adventurers Guild. So it starts with the Viceroy between 267, and then it moves over to the Monarch at 320, and from 321 to 399 is the Adventurer Revolution. During this period, the children of the Monarch and the children of the Viceroy are like the only way that they can basically like mate is if they're wed to either the monarch or the viceroy's kin. So the grandchildren never have the opportunity to mate because they are too diluted of blood, essentially. But when the Adventurers Guild comes along, those kids basically become adventurers in order to escape the tree. And this allows them to mate. And they basically create like an underground society of the lost bloodline of the monarch, where they're kind of hiding what their original bloodline is. And they're the only ones who have history, and they're the ones who have been writing in the books inside of the dome at the base of the tree. And basically, like, the first ones were led here by Gaia, and then over time they just gathered the other ones, and now through this they kind of have this pseudo society underneath the tree in the domed city, where basically they like go into the tree to gain enough sustenance to like stay alive, and then they leave the tree. But they're only ever in the roots, which is connected to Gaia, not Anima. And this is where the Warriors of Light come from. But having them go like back and forth and have to like hide out, I think is kind of a really interesting concept. So we got to come up with the children of the children, and to see at which point they would actually be alive in order to transfer over. So for the Lost Bloodline, we have Hallelujah. Equals 13 children, 8 males, 5 females. This is and this is Viceroy. The Viceroy is Sheba and Karina equal 11 children, 6 males, 5 females. And that would mean here at the center would be five out of 8 males, 3 out of 8 no mate, and 5 out of 5 females, we're just gonna go like this to make it easier. 8, and then just like remove this. And then this is 5 out of 6 males. That's 5, 10 mates. Which means between those 5, 1 and 1. And 9. 2 out of 2 have 7. 3 out of 3 have 13. 4 out of 4 have 8, and 5 out of 5 have 11. And that is 16, 29, 37, 48 grandchildren. Okay, so for the first line, they would be all dead. All dead by CET 200. And that's the first reign. Then the firstborn son. I guess we'll call that one actually 1 out of 1. Okay, well we need to remove 2 of these, because 1 out of 1... So this is actually wrong. But the amount really doesn't matter at this point. It's until the Adventurers Guild appears that it becomes an issue. Five to 10 mates. 1 and 1 is monarch, firstborn son, viceroy, firstborn son. So these numbers are, the first one's 15, right? Zidlev has 15 children. No, that doesn't make any sense. I think I'm doing this wrong. I'm an idiot. I don't think it matters. one of them needs to be taken out. No, two of them. Oh man, this is brutal. This is where we find areas that we just didn't expect. So that means these sets aren't correct. So it's 8 males and 6 males. But it's actually 7 males and 5 males. Because one of these is Zidlov. And the other one of these is Sora. And they will be the next in line. So, Zidlov and Sora. So that's still 5 and 5. Okay, so we didn't have to change it, but we figured out that we didn't have to change it. That's why you make mistakes, so you can learn. And we went like what? 9, 7, 11, 8, and 13. And that was 16. I think this was 13 and this was 11. Because it's 16, 29, 37, 48. So yeah, 48 grandchildren, all dead by CTE 200. And then Zidlov and Chanda. And 15 children, 6 males and 9 females. Sora plus Elowen at 17 children. Seven males, 10 females. So that means the firstborn son Stojan, which makes this 5, and that 6, and Nadir. The mates are maybe this is wrong too, now that I think about it. Because there should be 10, right? If there's 5 males and 5 females, that's 5 pairs. And then 5 males and 5 females, that's another 5 pairs. So that's actually 10. Six, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 0, 0. even more. So let's go 13, 11, 12, 8, 6, 24, 36, 42, or 44, 50. So that's 98 grandchildren. Yeah, over the course of like 150 years, I could definitely see how there could be almost 1,000 people down there. Hiding in the shadows as like an underclass. And like... it's kind of an underground for adventurers in the way of like a black market. So it's like most of the criminal activity and shit like that takes place down here. The side of the Adventurers Guild that you don't really see. Okay, so we have 5 males, 5 females, 6 males, 6 females. So that's 11. One equals 11. 2 equals 13. 3 equals 9. 4 equals 14. 5 equals 12. 6 equals 12. 7 equals 9. 8 equals 13. 9 equals 11. 10 equals 8. 11 equals 11. 24. 33. 47. 59. 71. 22, 33, 41, 52. Which leaves 133 grandchildren, all dead by CET 350. And what age is 350? 321 to 399. So these 133 children, whichever ones are left at the brink, So let's say... %60 of them? So like 75 stayed in the tree, lived out their lives. The other 48 doesn't math. 23 children. 75. That's 30, that's 20, that's 123. So 75 is 25. That's 48. Okay, that makes more sense. 48 left the tree and became adventurers. 12 of those had forbidden children. Let's say 30 died as adventurers. 12 of those had forbidden children. 6 remaining helped the 12 hide their children. Gaia showed them the way to the roots into the domed city. Thus begins the story of the lost bloodline. So how many years are they down here? If this would be CTE, I think we need another generation. I think this is too close. So I need to 18. Remained created an order to protect the future offspring of children of royalty. I guess we'll just call it. Create an order to protect the future offspring of the children of royalty. Nerdarine, yo, how's it going? Welcome. We are, establishing where the bloodline originally comes from for the lost bloodline of the monarch, because basically only the firstborn son of the monarch can carry on like the final line, and he mates with a voted politician, and then all of the other children can either choose to mate with the Viceroy's children, or they can't mate at all. And their children, so the Viceroy and the Monarch's grandchildren, have no way to mate. Like, they're not legally allowed to mate to dilute the Monarch bloodline. But once the Adventurers Guild is established and people are allowed to leave the tree, that kind of changes things, because they can now become adventurers and kind of do whatever they want. So the first bit of adventurers that survived until their like old age basically wanted to create an order to protect the future offspring of the children of royalty. And we're just kind of building all of this out in order to get a full picture, because we already have all of the successions up until the current age of the Viceroy and the Monarch. We also have the amount of children each of them have. So now we just have to take that and extrapolate how many people are basically going to be in this underground society that's hidden away with this royal bloodline. That the later heroes of the story, the Warriors of Light, come from this essentially squalor of a place. But it's the old remnants of a city built by the octopi before they became, or like as the experiment of them becoming air breathing and bipedal on land, as opposed to water breathing amphibians or cephalopods. And all the history and technology and everything like that is there. So the people that live down there kind of have an actual idea of history. And I was like trying to get a second avenue of where this idea of history comes from for the rest of the tree. Once adventurers start spreading out into the world, interacting with beastmen and learning of their history, their religion, and about the dragons and everything like that, all of their culture and everything. And it's something that's like kind of they feel is missing inside the tree, so they go back to the tree and they kind of like spread word of it. They're bringing out new materials and stuff like that for people to work with, so it creates an entire economy and a crafting guild around all these different materials that are being put in. And then that kind of creates this kind of class system where people that are like, you know, closer with adventurers and happen to, whatever the currency will be, happen to get the currency in order to buy all these special things. So it creates kind of now, on top of this like intelligence class system that there's now a kind of rich and poor kind of economy going on. And then in the background there's the Warriors of Light, who kind of understand how the old technology worked, and they're becoming crafters in order to craft and make work all of the old technology that they found down in the dome. And I think this will also be where they can explain about, like, to the main characters about how the Monarch is bad and everything like that. Because I think that'll be something that they'll eventually find out, or at least an inkling of, like, his huge plan of everything to be will be discovered by them. So when you find out that they are the Warriors of Light, and then it's like they explain their situation about everything, and it kind of puts all the pieces together for the main character to be like, oh shit, okay, this is starting to make sense. Now I kind of have a direction where I know we need to go. An enemy we're now pointed towards, and that's when they go face Fafnir, and they're not, like, Husai knows he's not there to fight the Fafnir, to kill Fafnir. It's kind of like a proving moment of, you've evolved to the point now you have the power to take me on, so maybe if we become allies we might be able to defeat the Monarch, even though that's not gonna happen. Monarch's too powerful. So we have these 18 people, essentially, that created and started this protection ring, and they're just going to kind of softly go around whispering to anyone who does, any one of the grandchildren that becomes an adventurer. They basically, like, start tutoring them and stuff like that, because there's going to be like basically like a knight squire system with the adventurers, where in order to become an adventurer, you basically have to squire for an adventurer for a certain amount of time in order to basically be, and then basically be knighted. So it's like the degree of your adventurer status is kind of based on who made you an adventurer and who you squired for. So it's kind of like knights in the old days. Like, your knighthood was basically who knighted you. And it's like whoever knighted you, if they were of, like, high stature, that would make basically you of high stature, because someone of high stature noticed your skill and basically backed you. And that's how you kind of get this class of adventurers, where some of them are, like, really good on the low end, but they haven't really been, like, they weren't knighted by the right person, so they're not, you know, they have to work their way up. And this is where Zaid's graphs come in to kind of show the obscurity of these random adventurers. They kind of pop out of nowhere and then disappear. And it's because he finds out that they're actually the same 4 adventurers, like, basically using fake IDs in order to not draw attention to themselves. And they're the children that come out of this dome. So we just kind of have to have some sort of lining backstory or like bloodline to figure out how many people are in that area and how much we want to work with that, because I think it's also going to be like the dark side of the Adventurers Guild, where it's like, you know, that's the underground where all the crime is committed. You know, there's like beastmen, like slave trade kind of thing and stuff like that. Like, in the deep depths of the dome, it's gonna get dark. So, we have Stojan and Madur for the next ones. Stojan and Adeline. And they have 11 children. 7 males, 4 females. Females, and then Madur and Isid. And they have 18 children. Damn, they got it on. 6 males, 12 females. So that makes the firstborn male. And Manoel. 7 and 7. So 1 equals 8, 2 equals 11, 3 equals 13, 4 equals 8, 5 equals 7, 6 equals 12. And then the second line is 4. So 7 equals 11, 8 equals 9, 9 equals 13, 10 equals 9, and 11 equals 14. And that gives us 19, 32, 47, 59, 20, 33, 42, 56, which gives us 115. So 115 grandchildren. Say 85 become adventurers. 50 die before mating. 25 mate. So this is where things are going to start to get exponential. So we have the original 18 looking over them, and then we have 25 mating. That's 50 already. So this is just going to be the easiest way to do it. They're not having a lot like they previously were in the tree, because life is a lot harder. But now kind of there's also like an establishment of, I don't know, it's like they're kind of being taken advantage of, because it's like they know they can't be like sold out, so they're worried about the criminals and stuff, or it's like they're housing the criminals and that's why the criminals don't sell them out, because it's kind of like they're blackmailing the criminals into being like, yeah, you tell anyone about this place, you fucking dead. So let's see what we've got. 7, 13, 15, 18, 20, 26, 28, 32, 34, 38, 41, 43, 44, 49, 53, 56, 58, 64, 68, 70, 73, 78, 82, 85. Numbers are weird like that. Wind up back at 85 people and the 85 that became adventurers. That is some fate shit right there. Just from random numbers. 85 off spring. 60 of those become adventurers. Okay. So we have the 18 that remained and created the order and worked with the Adventurers Guild to save these children. Then these are the first set of grandchildren that actually, like, were able to have kids outside of the tree. So there's the 50 parents, 25 adventurers, 25 of the royal blood. And then that created 85 offspring. Of those 85 offspring, 60 became adventurers, and 35 died. $25 mated. And again, we're back to 25 just from RNG. This is cyclical. It's great. Okay, and then on top of it, for this generation, because this will be... Let's look at the time periods now. So this is 0 to 123. And this is 0 to 98. This is 124 to 189. This is 99 to 171. Yeah, because all the grandchildren are dead by then. If everyone's here at 171 when the reign ends... And if they're born, yeah, they should all be dead by 300 to 350. So these ones are the ones that, like, they're like 100 years old, and the year should be 190 to 248. One Snoopy, welcome, welcome. How's it going? We are just trying to figure out what the timeline currently is, so we know how many children are going to be coming out of this. Madur. I feel like well, this is 99. Why do I have... Did I put Sora and it wasn't Sora? Oh, it's because this is the Viceroy and the Monarch. These are the children of the Viceroy. So this is still Sora. His firstborn. I don't know why it says Nahan. It should be Sora. Because he's the firstborn son. And it's Sora and Elowin. And then their son Madur, who rules from 172 to 266. And this is the reign of adventurers, right? No, it's 320. It's like 380, so it's not this one yet. So we did this one generation too early, which doesn't really matter. Kind of fucks all of our numbers. That's why I was like, wait, did I skip a generation? Because there's one year missing, essentially. So I'm going to put those ones there. Because these children's children are going to be growing up in an age of adventurers. So by the time they're like 120, 130, if they're, let's say, born... We can still keep the numbers no matter how many children there are. This is 6 and 3, which is 11. I think I can actually keep these numbers. And it's 115. So it's 115 grandchildren. And then 75 stayed in the tree. 75 stayed in the tree. 25, then 45, right? It's 25, 35. 17? Died as adventurers, and then 18 remained, created in order to protect the future offspring, children of royalty. 75 stayed in the tree and lived out their lives. 35. No, it would be 45. So 27 died and 18 remained. Okay, that makes more sense. That makes more sense. Getting all tied up here. Okay, now we have the next years, which are Eligio, who rules 249. To 320. So yeah, no, this needs to go down here. So those 115 grandchildren all die off. They're all dead by 350. That doesn't seem right. Maybe we can put it there? Because if they're born in, let's say, 235, right? So be born between 190, so 195, and 230. If they're born 230, they're still going to be alive in 350. So yeah, we can put these guys here. It's just like they do that way later in life. So none of them become adventurers. 18 left the tree. Seek out adventurers. And create an order to protect the... Okay. So everyone stayed in the tree except those 18 that left to go and be like, we're too old to learn to be adventurers. Like, we're not going to be able to go out and fight. But there's, like, kind of enough infrastructure that's been created over the last, let's say, 70 years. And it's, like, a small establishment of Ifrit that they're like, maybe we can find something with the adventurers. With the Adventurers Guild. Because between, like, 295... is when they start to give leanway towards the idea. And when the Monarch takes over in 320, he just kind of unfolds the entire plan of here's the idea of the Adventurers Guild, people leaving the tree, creating infrastructure outside of the tree, exploring outside of the tree, see what's outside of the tree. Anyone who's brave enough. And then he basically like rallies people together. Okay. And this is CTE Reign of Madur? No, Minot. 267 to 341. This is Minot plus Shanta. And they have 16 children. And they have 11 4 and 7F. That means all 7 males can mate, but that's not true because one of them is Eldar, and their son Vaco. And this is the Adventurers Guild, 321 to 399. Vaco and Eldar. So that leaves 6 males and 3 males. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7, 8, 9. Those are all the grandchildren. 26, 37, 45, 54, 61, 99. 99 grandchildren. 65 become adventurers. 30 die. 35 mate. So I'm like, I feel like all of this is useless, but I'm gonna keep it just in case. But I feel like it's lost all its cause. Unfortunate. Okay, so 35 mate. Well, I guess we can technically take this. And these are the same relative numbers. We just need to add. Whoops. Getting ahead of myself. And we want like 4 2 4 2 1 1 3 4 2 1, and that is 89, 91, 95, 97, 98, 99, 102, 106, 108, 109. So 109 great grandchildren. So these are the 99. Of the 99 grandchildren, 35 mated and created 109 great-grandchildren. Now I gotta think, what would the year be if this is like 320? So by the time it'd be like this would be like 335 to like 355. So by the time their kids are of mating age, this is like CTE. Like 395 to like 430. And this is like CTE 320 to 350. So it's like those are the ones that are like 100 years older than these grandchildren. And then Vaco and Eldar, when they take over in the like 325 era, when these ones are grown up enough to actually be a part of it. CTE. And then Vaco and Eldar. This is 321 to 399. Vaco and Sansa have 5 and 4. 9C5 and 4F. This is CTE 341 416. Eldar plus Danella. Damn, these ones went hard. 12 and 10 F. Now this is where the unmated children will also be joining this group. Now that they're old enough to be like, well, we can't mate, so we might as well become adventurers. So, of these, no, we need the firstborn son first. Aaron. And Zlata. And that leaves 4 males and 11 males, which doesn't leave a lot, which is 4, which leaves 7 M, and then 4 F, no, which means 6 F. So there's only 8. And then these are the grandchildren, which is 24, 38, 47, 55, 67, 78, 89 grandchildren. CTE. So this would be like 360 to 390. And then on this side, we can do... No, we can just say, and then as well there is... 13 children. I think we should put that on the other side. So it should be like 13 children. $45 become adventurers. 25 die. 20 mate. Seven adventurers. 3 die. 4 mate. These are the ones that are important on this side. We need to know who these people are, because these children are going to be of the bloodline. The undiluted, not the great-grandchildren and grandchildren, but the actual children, the first children that left the tree of the monarch and the viceroy. But they need to be of monarch's blood. So which one of these... So far, only one of these is of monarch blood. Okay, perfect. Five, 6, 8, 11, 12, 13.
Are you smoking?
Who?
You.
Why?
What? Why are you smoking?
Maybe.
What?
Fuzzy Bear, thank you for the follow. Welcome, welcome. How's it going? This one's for you, bro. We're establishing the lost bloodline of closest relation. Hey, if you're from Twitter. Nice. How's it going, bro? Really good. Thanks for asking. Yeah, no worries, man. Anytime. By the way, I forgot to turn it on, but hold on one sec. Feel free to place an exclamation S before your message and go... I think they're all good.
Abundant abject anomalies of binary arms arbitrating amassed angels.
There you go. It works. And to test that out, give it a good whirl. Where are we at? Is this all fake? This was our 20. So everything past this point is like we're most likely not going to use. We're not going to get rid of it yet. Alright, so we're 17, 21, 23, 26, 30, 35, 36, 41, 46, 49, 51, 52. Ooh, that's not a lot. 52 grandchildren, and these are CTE 390. So this should be like probably 440 to
Repost
450.
your post on Twitter.
Which post on Twitter? This one? I don't quite understand. Or is it like you repost? So just like repost it? The same thing? Why would I do that? That sounds so stupid.
Yes, I've reposted that post.
You have. Okay, that's what I thought. Thank you. Good job, bro. Bring them in. Bring in the people. You can also join the Discord. That's where I post most of my stuff. Here we're just theory crafting. But it's been going on way too long because we gotta get ready to speed run a story. And we haven't even come up with a plot outline yet. So but I wanted to get this done, so that just pushes Monster Hunter back further. And if we don't get a chance to play Monster Hunter, we don't get a chance to play Monster Hunter. It's not a big deal until Wilds comes out. We got a week or so. Okay, one of these is of Monarch blood. So we need to come up with basically the Monarch bloodline here. So we have one guy. He will be Nadir, and his adventurer wife will be Clarissa. And they will have 4 children. Jesus. So that's 1, 2. Two die. 1 doesn't mate. Three grandchildren. This would be CTE 440 to 450. So, in and among them, I mean, it's not that the blood of the monarch actually has anything powerful in it, except for the fact that, he's more genetically enhanced. Him and the Viceroy are, like, way more genetically enhanced than the rest of the octopi. And I'm thinking of maybe these guys live longer, and now that they're adventurers, it's kind of like they're actually putting their bodies to the test, so they're actually, like, going above and beyond. So the ones that have the closer relation to the monarch are just kind of better. And that's because of a genetic enhancement that the... Because one of the main things that the monarch and the viceroy were doing while they were experimenting with the rest of the races using biology was there were side effects to their unlimited life, and they wanted to negate those side effects, and as well as perfect their ability to transform themselves into someone else so they wouldn't be discovered, essentially, and a couple of other reasons as well. But that makes it so, like, his bloodline have the ability to camouflage like that, whether they know they do or not. They also have the ability to, like, unfold their braided legs, which they don't know they have. But one of the monk characters is going to be able to do that, and he's going to be, like, insane. Basically basing him off of, like, Might Guy. But it's like an octopi. So he's got, like, his fucking 8 arms going crazy on that shit. So there's 3 grandchildren. So I'm just thinking of how diluted each line is, right? Because this is 335 to 355. We had 109 grandchildren. 395 to 430. So those 109 great-grandchildren need to be added with these are great grandchildren. These are the grandchildren having children. It's great grandchildren. So we have 109 great grandchildren. How many of those mate? 109 75 become adventurers, 45 die. Twelve don't mate. 13 mate. And for this age would be CTE 470 to 490 would be when they would start to mate again. Alright. 3, 5, 8, 12, 13, 15, 17, 20, 24, 26, 29, 33, 33. Great, great grandchildren. of those, what does this say? 25 became adventurers, 15 died, 4 didn't mate, 6 mated. And this puts CTE 560 to 580. Gives us 7, 12, 15, 19, 22. 22 great grandchildren. And this would be CTE 606 plus, which is present era 606. CTE 606 is the date that the book starts at, because that's the date of the inauguration of the Viceroy. So, let's see, based upon these years, who's still alive and how many people are still down there now that we've caught up. So there were 99. 65 become adventurers. So this is 335, so the latest is 355. So everyone on this list is going to be dead by 500. So everyone on that list is dead. We don't need to worry about them. So we need to worry about 395 to 430. 109 grandchildren. Still doing maths homework. Yeah, Levi. We've decided that basically there's going to be an underclass of people who live inside the dome, and it's going to be like all the black market and like, you know, dark side of the Adventurers Guild is, and it's basically going to be home to the reject, illegal bloodlines of the monarch, because basically the monarch's children are only allowed to marry and have kids with the viceroy's children, and only the viceroy's children are allowed to mate and have kids with the monarchs, other than the firstborn, who is the one who portrays carrying on the line, which they kill and steal their wife, of course. And over the years, since there was adventurers, since the adventurer like regime essentially, they have been they could choose to become adventurers, and once they became adventurers, they basically weren't part of the bloodline anymore, so they could kind of do whatever they wanted. So they found other adventurers and mated with them, and basically 18 of like the elderly, when the Adventurers Guild was set up, basically went to the Adventurers Guild and said, let's create kind of like a secret order to protect these children. And Gaia basically leads them to the dome underneath the city. So they have like all this information about history and everything like that. So when the main characters and the main heroes later on, the Warriors of Light, come from here. So that's the reason why they have like all of this information that the main character doesn't have. And as soon as like the Warriors of Light reveal themselves and he takes them back to the dome and everything and kind of explains everything, it's like suddenly all the pieces start to feel like they're falling together for Husai, and he's like, oh my god, the world is fucking unraveling and I don't know what's what anymore. And we're just trying to find out what that kind of population is going to look like. And the people that are most related to the monarch, because the monarch and the viceroy have, like, supreme genetic enhancements, any of their direct descendants basically have, like, the same thing, and it kind of dilutes out, right? So it's like the Warriors of Light are going to basically be the children, the rejected children of the monarch and the viceroy that left the tree in order to become adventurers, and they wound up as part of this underground community, essentially, and that's what's striving for them to, like, defend and become, and not be noticed as well. And that's, like, also another reason why they're really close with Gaia, and that brings them close with the Viceroy before he steps down, in order to give them the fake IDs that they need in order to basically not get discovered. And Zayd is the one who kind of puts all of this together in his notes. And after Zayd dies, Husai's going through his notes, trying to basically make a journal for Zayd, for his family, and he's finding, like, all these graphs and, like, connected lines and stuff, and, like, notes, and it basically puts it together that Zayd has figured out that these 4 people are actually the Warriors of Light. And then he realizes that those 4 people are on his team already. And it's kind of confusing, because he's like, they haven't shown any of that kind of shit. And it's like, because they're fucking hiding it, because they're not supposed to be known as the Warriors of Light. So, but then at the end of the book, when everything goes down, it's like they're kind of revealed. Either that, or when they go up against Fafnir, everything's revealed. I don't know exactly when, but that's like 3/4 of the way to basically being the end of the book. Because once they attain Atomus and set up home base there, that's kind of like the idea of, like, end game, and it's like now the world has been turned upside down. All of the old sky cities have kind of come out of the ground, so there's, like, holes and caves in the ground and stuff like that, and it basically, like, New Game Pluses the entire world, and now you're in a floating city, citadel, forging machine, and you're attacking another sky city. And then eventually, like, you find out that Fafnir's on your side. And you should be fighting for the same kind of goals and stuff like that. And he's just rallying the Beastmen because they're the only ones who will listen. And then you go and fight the Monarch. And then Fafnir dies. And then through these children in this society, because of the Warriors of Light, you're able to find all of this old information and put everything together about how there's another society of octopi on the bottom of the ocean, and then you lower the dome back down to its original spot. This will be during the second book, and then they find the dragons, the original dragons down there, and then they say of, like, Fafnir's fall and, like, all this kind of stuff, and then eventually through discovery and all of that. That's, like, kind of later on into the second book. But we've got one of the bloodlines with a grandchild, so that's pretty close. We're not sure. That's Exodal, which is this age. Vidat. We still have 4 generations to go. Vidat, Radovan, Kamal, and Vilmos. And Vilmos is the current viceroy who's being inaugurated in the second chapter. But I think I'm going to call it here for, like, doing this, because I need to do some more complicated shit, and it's just going to be boring and take forever. So let's move on to speedrun. And if you would like to write along with me and have me read your story, feel free to do that and then post it in the Discord when we're done. There it is. All right. What is the story going to be about today? Let's move this one over here. This is the one we're going to be writing on. Oh, I got a really, really good one. Okay, so the premise of this one is to, because what I've been thinking about today is one thing I would need to work on is like description. This is going to be a test of description. Plot is, I'm a terribly slow writer. I spent an hour writing a pretty moderate amount. Well, you got to think about it as like the whole point of the speed run is just to throw shit on paper. It's not to have a coherent story. It's not to have anything thought through. It's just a practice exercise for sprinting. So, like, the more incoherent and out of place it is, I find, the better it is. But this one's going to be fucked up. So, plot is a... How do you even... I'm pretty sure it's this. Yeah, it's this. Okay. So, a bot fly embedded in a man's calf behind his knee. Location is jungle. Time period 2008. Characters, a group of explorers going through a new jungle. Event soreness in his knee. Turns to horror as he has to have a bot fly larva removed from his calf with a knife in the wild. Ooh, I can just feel it now. I can just feel it now. The tension, the fucking... Oof. Okay. So... Swag. Set. Me. Moving creature wiggly under his skin. Shows as a bot fly larva they have to remove. Removed. Feverish and delirious as he falls into a coma from infection and dies. They always have to die. It's not fun if they don't die. They don't die at the end. Okay, let's take a toke and let's get as descriptive as we possibly can. Absolutely everything. Just go fucking crazy with it. And just throw shit on the paper. One Snoopy. Thank you for the emotes, bro. Valiant boy, how's it going? Welcome back. We're writing a story. Doing a speed run of a story. Hit the horizon. To the third. I want to be more descriptive, but like for fuck's sakes, I just can't draw it out. Oh, this is probably why. Damn it. Yeah, okay, that's why. I'm just at shit writing talent right now. Makes sense. Okay, that puts everything into perspective. Okay, just roll with a 31%. Nice, bro. 81%. Go out there. Go get it. Fuck yeah. Destroy my story. I thought I'd used up all mine earlier today. Muffin, welcome, welcome. Hey, mate, how are we? We're doing good. We are writing a story about a botfly infection. Yeah. So I think we're doing good. And Raymond Dow, welcome, welcome as well. Feel free to write along with me if you guys want. Your own story or, you know, same plot as me. It's up to you. The goal for this one is to be as descriptive as possible. Such an experience. World after? When, broski? This? Then Reddit story? The botfly thing makes me very grossed out. Yeah, that's the whole point. It's supposed to be. Wait till we get it cutting out of him. That's what we're about to get to. So if you get squeamish over those kinds of things, you might not want to read what's going to happen next. Because it's not going to be pretty. Don't take this as medical advice to ever fucking do this. How was your day at work? Same as always. Thought of a bunch of shit, and then the day was over. I was like, alright, let's fucking do this. And here we are again. Time flies that fast, man. Means of anesthetic. We're gonna have to die again. I have a narrative assignment for English. We're meant to use show, don't tell. I think this is probably... I don't know, we'll see how it goes, and I'll let you know if this is a good example of that, because this is like no forethought going into it. I'm just ripping through this. Alright, mate, I work and stay here at the same time. Yeah, man, sounds good, bro. Do what you gotta do, right? I mean, that's what I do at work anyways, right? Half the time. I'm just fucking like watching a stream or on Reddit or doing research or something like that. Oh, sorry to. Whenever I write fiction, every character. I have a narrative assignment for. Whenever I write fiction, every character I use the letter J as the first letter of their names. You in the zone. Hello? Sorry, I didn't catch your message. Yeah, I was in the zone. My Duolingo is going well, by the way. That's good. Good to hear. I love that. Second blade drove into the fresh, pressing the pus on the other side. I don't know, it's a bad sentence, but like that's kind of the idea. Want to know how to spell bread in Norwegian? It's kind of funny. How? How do you spell bread in Norwegian? Is it like slot you? Broad? Or is it like broad? How would you like pronounce that? What does the TTS do exclamation S and see what the TTS pronounces that as?
Broad.
Broad. So it is just broad. Interesting. Roll the tongue a bit on the B like it's a D. Forget about the other letters and replace them with something like der, 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 der. That's interesting. water is van, tea is te, coffee is cafe, and og is or eller. Please and thanks is tak, hi is hey, bye is hadat, yes is ja, no is nay. That's all I know. In broad. Interesting, interesting. It's like, I know some words, but not that many, and most of them I just, like, instantly forget in Japanese. But it's like, I'm gonna say... like... Tamakata Hizashi. Memimi. Hana. Kuchi. You pronounced all those wrong. Yeah, most likely. That's why I love Japanese. You can't really pronounce it wrong. As long as you can say I-U-O, you're pretty much set.
I heard you the first time.
Stream with 8 viewers.
Jesus, welcome, Caedmon. Thank you for the raid. Holy shit, bro, thank you.
Shout out K. Edmund.
Wait, did that dude like exclamation S and then just do the hout out? That's hilarious. You don't even need the space for the exclamation S. I think that might probably be a bug. Go check him out, guys. Give him a follow. What were you doing today, good sir? How was your day? We are currently doing a speed running story where we just kind of randomly make up a plot, location, time period, character, event, intro, rising action, climax, falling action, conclusion, and just write. Yeah, writing lesson in history, art, and so on. I'm gonna go now. Good night, mates. Alright, have a good night, Muffin. Thanks for tuning in. Good seeing you again, bro. That's cool. Yeah, we were doing earlier, creating basically a outline of all of the lost children of the monarchy, essentially, and trying to create a scope of what the size of that kind of area is, like society, I guess. It's not quite a society. Agreed on how Joan of Arc could have looked in the real life. Interesting. I love historical stuff because I try to take things that happen in real life and incorporate them into the like foundation for the ideas of my book. So essentially, I don't know if it's a Song of Ice and Fire, but it's a fantasy book, and it takes the idea. You might know of this. It's some battle in like 200s or something like that, and basically what one of the armies does. I'm not sure if it was like Alexander the Great's army or something like that, but they basically took a bunch of cattle and strapped the cattle together and tied the cattle together and then put like lanterns on the cattle and marched the cattle towards a cliff in the middle of the night and made it look like their army was marching in the middle of the night. So the enemy's army came in and tried to attack their army, and they basically ran the entire enemy army off of a cliff. And then they invaded the castle when the army was basically gone and dead. And then they wrote that into the book. I don't remember which book it is, but that kind of idea. And then yesterday we were actually, or the day before yesterday, we were watching a thing on like world building, and they were talking about the idea of, for instance, how, I can't remember the guy's name, but the guy who like was the main senator that came to like the agreement of, okay, we're going to kill Julius Caesar, and like have all the senators like stab him. And it's the idea that like he's being pushed to this point. Like apparently they were like best friends, and he's pushed to the point of he has to kill this guy because Brutus, because he has to follow the will of the people. And it's kind of like that kind of happens in my book in the aspect of the monarch set up the Adventurers Guild, and the Adventurers Guild is like his like dream kind of thing. And in order to, like, maintain himself as the monarchy, because the people have now voted that they don't want anything to do with the Adventurers Guild being inside of the tree, he has to kick everything to do with the Adventurers Guild out of the tree in order to make it so, you know, he falls in line with what the public wants. So it's like he basically has to scrap his baby idea in order to appease the people. And it's kind of that concept of you have to go along with it, because at the end of the day, you're the military might that's backing the decisions of society. And if you want to keep your reign in that position, you have to back the decisions of society. And unfortunately, that means turning your back on one of the most precious things you believe you've built. At least that's what the reader would get from that point, even though that's a complete fucking lie. But that's how I want it to portray to the leader, or to the reader, being like, oh my god, you know, this is such a horrible decision that he has to make. He's trapped between a rock and a hard place. Joan of Arc wasn't a noble girl. She was a girl from a farm family, so I'm pretty sure she would look pretty much like this. Yeah, I'd say that's pretty much accurate. Something like that. Like, I imagine, like, a Brienne of Tarth kind of idea. Like, very type of masculine. Like, I've lived in only, like, small towns and stuff like that. Like, I fucking see farm girls all the fucking time. Yup. That's pretty much what it is. Minus the length. Yeah. Yeah. Left. I already used solemnly. What's like solemnly but not solemnly? He dragged his feet as he walked towards the stove and kettle Margaret. Had set tea and stew. Survive the night with doesn't bleed out. Then stopped himself short of his fist on the stove. His best chance at survival. Even if we caught it, it might not be enough to stop struck. got to go to work, so take care, everyone. Cademon, thank you very much, and thank you again for the raid. Have a wonderful day, good sir. Take care. I will be on tomorrow. I will see you tomorrow. Thank you very much. Very much appreciated. Oh, how am I supposed to do that in this condition? European morning back. Yeah, it's 3 o'clock in the morning for me. I'm a late night streamer for my time period, so I guess I get a lot. I'm Canadian, so. But it's the only time I have, so I use it. And, like, I can't sleep at night, so it's like, it's just perfect. Nice. Nice. Cool. I love having different people, different, you know, different times, essentially. I get, like, Australian people, because it's, like, nighttime for them. I get, like, Valium's, like, from France. POV me, it's 11 a.m. actually tomorrow, bro. Yeah, pretty much. I'm like, is there anyone who's behind me besides, like, Pacific? 11 in the morning now. Yeah, see, it's like everyone's just, like, all over the place. I love it. It's a good sign, man. It's a good sign. That's what I want. More people from different areas to be interacting, because I need more pull from that, you know? I need to be able to draw from that. Because we are making multiple cultures and, like, splitting cultures apart and, like, rebuilding them. So having that kind of insight from another perspective for someone to, like, critique me on my world building would absolutely be fantastic. It is 6 hours decalarge on Canada or more. Deco? Log? To college? I don't think I've heard that word before. Like, it's 5 a.m. on Canada something. Like Far Eastern? Yes, it's 5 a.m. I'm Mountain Standard, which is 3 a.m. And then Pacific would be 2 a.m. The best book you read this or last year? What was the best book I read? There's this one that's called... Oh, what the hell is it called? It's like Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell. Very interesting book. But probably one of... Because I never finished that one. But... I mean, on Basilisk Station wasn't too bad. What's the other one? I still have to read The Wheel of Time. I'm rereading... I haven't finished the first one yet, but I'm rereading the Bartimaeus series. Last year's best I read was Poppy War Trilogy by R.F. Kuang. Never read it. But yeah. Probably, if I finish Bartimaeus, it's going to be Bartimaeus. I'm rereading it because it's like, for Bartimaeus, it's in first person. For Nathaniel, it's in third person. And my book's in first person. And I want to figure out how to do first person, like, smoothly. And I'm still debating, because I'm not locked. Like, I don't want to be locked to any idea. Or married to any idea. So if it's like, if it's only first person from Husai's perspective, and like third person from other characters' perspective, just for narrative purposes, instead of like all of it being like internal dialogue from Husai putting images of the world together. I'm a trash can since I've quit high school. You quit high school? You didn't graduate, bro? Made a series off that, didn't they? Yeah, man, that goes fucking hard. I love it. But I just don't, like, especially since I started streaming, like, I just really don't have time. Like, I spent like 5 hours today putting together this freaking Lost Bloodline, and I'm not even done yet. And we didn't even get to doing the titles of the government and assigning titles to each of the characters. It does have a live action series? Because a friend of mine recommended it, and I'm like a third of the way through it. But that would be interesting to have that. But yeah, reading's like kind of been put down on the priority list probably over the last 2 or 3 years. But like, I want to reread Dune. I want to reread. I'm rereading Bartimaeus. I'm trying to do a chapter a day. I want to reread Dragonlance. I want to reread Sword of Truth. I want to continue reading Wheel of Time. Oh, I gotta finish the Heartstone series too. Queen of Oblivion. I'm only like halfway through that. Oh. I think there's a couple of other books that I'm like a third or 3/4 of the way through. Sometimes I'll just, this is making me self-conscious about how little I read. Well, we're talking like that's the last like 5-10 years. I've read maybe 9 books in the last 8 years. But I've also read manga too, and comics. But mainly like, I like short stories too. I absolutely love short stories. I read like 10 short stories a day. Like, I love short stories, because it's just like, you jump in, you jump out, it's over, it's done with. I read 3 books last year and no books the 9 years before that. Manga, though, yeah, I think manga counts. People don't say manga counts, I think manga counts. But it's like, it doesn't count, like, as, like, you gotta, like, 3 manga volumes, maybe 5 manga volumes, depending upon what you're reading, I'd say is like 1 book. Oh, I'm like, why am I here? No, I'm here. That's what it is. How am I supposed to do that in this condition? Manga counts in the same way poetry does, I think. Yeah, I could see that. I definitely see that. It's just the, like, I read 3 books, I read 4,000 poems. I think the scale is way up there. Same with like short stories. Like, read maybe 50 or 60 short stories, and then tell me you've read half a book. Won't let him die. She cries a tear fell from her face. She sniffled and looked at her shaking hands. How am I supposed to do that in this condition? Please try. Alright. There's the story. Okay, then we take this. And as always, because we have to do a comparison. Wait, I forgot to check. $668 words. Okay, good. They're getting longer. We went from 200 to 400 to 500, and now we're almost to 700 words. And we had quite a bit of interruptions, so not bad at all, I would say. So let's say write a 600 to 700 word story about AI bot fly. Hairless bot fly. No, we want short stories, speed run. There it is. Word count 614. All right. Perfect. All right, so we'll do the AI first. The jungle in 2008 was a beast of its own, a sprawling, uncharted expanse in South America that swallowed light and sound beneath its dense canopy. The explorers, 5 in total, hacked their way through tangled vines and gnarled roots, their machetes glinting in the rare shafts of sunlight. Daniel, a wiry man with a scoffy beard and a penchant for dark humor, trailed at the back of the group. He'd been grumbling about his leg for hours, a dull soreness behind his left knee that he dismissed as fatigue. "This damn jungle's trying to kill me one step at a time," he muttered, swatting a mosquito and wiping sweat from his brow. The others, Clara, the botanist, Miguel, the guide, and the burly twins, Tom and Leo, chuckled but pressed on, eager to catalog this untouched wilderness. By dusk, the group decided to make camp in a small clearing. The air was thick with humidity, and the chorus of unseen creatures buzzed around them. Daniel slumped against a fallen log, rubbing his calf. "It's not just sore anymore," he said, his voice tight. "It's prickly." Clara, ever the caretaker, knelt beside him, her flashlight illuminating the back of his knee. What she saw made her gasp, a swollen red lump, veiny and pulsing faintly under the skin. "That's no sprain," she said, her eyes wide. Miguel crouched next to her, his face grim. "Botfly. I've seen it before. We need to get it out, now." The realization hit like a thunderclap. Beneath Daniel's skin, a botfly larva writhed, its presence confirmed by a subtle, sickeningly wiggle as Clara pressed gently around the lump. Daniel paled, his breath hitching. "You're kidding," he whispered, but the dread in his chest told him otherwise. The group sprang into action, their meager supplies laid out on a tarp. A hunting knife, a bottle of antiseptic, some rope, and a cloth for him to bite down on. There's no anesthesia, no sterile operation room, just the wild and their shaking hands. "Tie me down," Daniel said, his voice trembling but resolute. "I don't trust myself to stay still." Twins secured his arms and legs to the log with a rope, their usual bravado replaced by tense silence. Clara sterilized the knife with the antiseptic, her hands unsteady as she met Daniel's eyes. "This is going to hurt like hell," she warned. He nodded, clamping the cloth between his teeth. Miguel held the flashlight steady as Clara made the first cut. Daniel's muffled scream tore through the camp, his body bucking against the restraints. Blood welled up dark and thick as the knife sliced into the swollen flesh. The larva squirmed, a pale, grotesque thing burrowing deeper. "Hold him!" Miguel barked, and the twins pressed down harder, their knuckles white. Claire gritted her teeth, digging the blade deeper, chasing the creature. Pus mingled with blood, oozing down Daniel's leg as the skin popped open, releasing a fetid stench. The larva writhed, its hooked body resisting as she pinned it with a knife tip. With a final desperate yank, she pulled it free, a wriggling, inch-long nightmare. Daniel's screams faded to gasps, his chest heaving as sweat soaked through his shirt. The wound bled freely, a ragged mess of torn muscle and skin. Claire doused it with the last of antiseptic, wrapped it tightly in a torn strip of cloth. "It's out," she whispered, her voice shaking. "You're going to be okay." But he wasn't. By morning, Daniel's fever spiked, his skin burning to the touch. Delirium set in, his eyes glassy, his words incoherent as he muttered about shadows in the trees. The group hovered around him, helpless, as infection spread from the jagged wound. Clara tried to clean it again, but the damage was deep, the jungle's filth too potent. By noon, his breathing grew shallow, then stopped altogether. The explorers stood in stunned silence, the weight of their loss heavier than the humid air. Miguel broke the quiet, his low voice. He fought hard. They buried him there, beneath the roots of a strangler fig? The jungle claiming one of its own. Not bad, not bad. Not bad at all. Can't go wrong with that. Alright, and then there's mine. Stifling heat bear down upon John. He smacked another mosquito on his neck. "Missed," he said to himself as he scowled. He scratched at the back of his left leg, which had been slightly irritating him. "Don't fall behind," Margaret shouted to him as he dawdled. "Oh, don't worry. I'm just putting distance between us." They both laughed. John was a sturdy man, not that tall, but he could hold his own with a machete in the jungle. His tan camo shirt and cargo pants were bleeding through with splotches of his sweat as he reached into his pack and grabbed some lotion. "These bugs won't leave you alone, whether it's garlic or gasoline," he admonished as he slapped some sort of liquid across his neck and cheeks. "One day you'll be glad you're here. If you want to keep this type of exhilaration up," Jordan, the leader of the expedition group, spoke abruptly. "Next year's tour is to the Arctic." Margaret grinned back at John as she trailed behind Jordan. "Don't make us stop on your account, John." Randy, the lumberjack, with his puffing chest and bulging arms, swinging his machete, and tore the jungle as if butchering an animal. Him and Jordan were hard-pressed to make a path for the rest of the group. John had taken this time for his selfish rest. Still, his leg was beginning to sting, not just itch anymore. He winced as he walked slowly. The sun was starting to hit the horizon, or what was visible of it through the dense overbrush of the tangled trees. "Let's make camp here," Jordan said, as he sat down on a makeshift stump for a breather. It had been almost 7 hours of hiking. Today was the catch-up day. Whatever timing they had lost for the last 4 days, they had to make up at this point of the journey, or they would run out of supplies before the end. John walked into the camp several minutes after the stove and kettle had been set up. "I think there's something wrong with my leg," he protested as he felt the pain getting worse. "Feels like a pimple, but it hurts like a sea siren song. Can you take a look at this, Maggie?" Margaret rolled her eyes and beckoned him over to the cot she was sitting on. "Lay down here, lift up your shorts, let's take a look." "Whereabouts is it?" She tried to hide her face as she stared down at the swollen red veiny mass appearing as if it was trying to press out from within. "Hey, don't make that face. I've seen that shit before, woman," he half joked as he sat back. "Shut up, you fool," she scoffed as she left the tent for a few moments. She returned with Jordan. They both looked down at his swollen face. Looked down at him with sullen faces. John, "I'm sorry to say this, but I'm afraid that might be a botfly larva. I've seen them before, and this is honestly not looking good. We'll have to remove it as soon as possible. We have no means of anesthesic, so we are going to have to tie you down." John's face was a dark scowl. His heart was beating like the wind wailing against a coastal cave, whistling into the night. "Bite down on this." Margaret placed a stick with a folded cloth around it in his mouth. His hands and feet were tied down, and he could barely move. He could feel something behind his knee almost squirming. He screamed as the knife dug into his flesh. The blood dripped down the skin as it goose-bumped, with the hair standing on end, the physical exertion of the muscles as they tensed against the strain. The muffled screams rattled the campsite as the small knife drove its way deep into the muscle. The dark red blood began to ooze and bubble with a dark yellow pus as the skin around the larva had detached and molded into a cavity for it to grow. The sound of the skin popping as the air was released was unnoticed next to the agony being revealed by lungs that felt the weight of the ocean herself. The larva squirmed and it tried to dig itself deeper. A second blade drove into the flesh, pressing the pus from the wound on the other side. It poked towards the larva, preventing it from digging deeper. The skill of this surgeon was not to be claimed. The rough and shaking measure of these tools laid bare the desperation on their hands. The warmth of the blood flowing across his leg and pooling on the cot, his only solace against this nightmare. The sweat was soaking through and dripping under the cot, creating fresh moisture marks upon the jungle floor. The gasp of clarity as the relief of pressure, another lull in the endless expanse of his agony. He felt the cold cloth running across his leg, the splash of water. The pain was steady, not burning like it had been. Now it was just a dark cloud on the horizon, not a hurricane he had just endured. "You did well, son," Jordan said as he ran a cloth across John's face. He leaned over and wiped his mouth, placing some water for him to drink. "It's not fully over. We have to wash and stitch the wound now. The hard part is done. Try and rest." Jordan left the tent and dragged his feet as he walked towards the stove and kettle, where Margaret had set tea and stew. He won't survive the night, even if he doesn't bleed out. Jordan stopped himself short of slamming his fist on the stove. He knew better than to cause alarm at this moment. John needed to rest. That was his best chance at survival. Even if we caught her the wound, it might not be enough to stop the internal bleeding. There's an artery we might have struck. Margaret stood on her feet and looked down at Jordan. "I won't let him die," she cried. A tear fell from her face. She sniffled and looked at her shaking hands. "How am I supposed to do that in this condition?" She took a deep breath and looked in Jordan's eyes. "I have to at least try." She looked over at the tent and began to approach it. "Maggie, is that you?" Shaky, low voice whispered as she knelt down beside him. "Yes, I'm here. I have to stitch the wound, but once that is over, you can rest." She placed the stick of cloth back in his mouth. "I will try to be as gentle as possible. Try not to move too much." She opened the sewing kit next to the cot and reached in, grabbing the bandages, what little rubbing alcohol they had, and began to clean around the wound. It looked horrible. Multiple stabs and slashes with no seeming purpose, just a butchering means with no remorse. She pressed the flaps of skin together as she dabbed the blood away. The flexing of muscle pulled the skin taut and it split the seam. She pinched her fingers against the fold as she drove the needle in and began the work. Her hands were covered with blood, but it seemed to be at the end of its line. She dabbed and rubbed the cloth gently across the broken, mismatched stitches. She prayed to herself he would have brutal scars. "It is done." She kissed his burning cheek and left him with a whisper meant only for him. The sound of distant chirping and jungle brush moving in the wind brushed Margaret from her dreams. The awareness thudding against her as she bolted up and threw the bedding from her as she dashed outside. The men were gathered around the tent in the barely visible light of the newborn dawn. Her heart fell from her chest as she fell to her knees. "He's gone," Jordan whispered as he placed his hand on her shoulder, looking down at her. "He fought well." I like mine better because I feel it's got like deeper character connection. This one, like, maybe it had a little bit of better language in it, but I feel like this one definitely got you deeper connected to the character. Like, I didn't really care that much about Daniel, but I like feel really bad for Margaret. But we need to move on. Because we're not going to be able to do some Reddit stories, unfortunately. We're not going to have time. I was only going to go for 3 hours, but we haven't played any Monster Hunter yet. And we need to play some Monster Hunter. So we need to do at least 2 hunts. So we'll probably go for like another half an hour or so. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the story. You know, I know it's a speed run and it's like absolutely butchered, but the idea behind it is just to get comfortable with just putting things on paper. I think that's my biggest problem. So, getting to the point of just putting it on paper, that's all we need to do. Get the idea down and out of your head. And then you can fine-tune it later with however you want to do it, right? I'm actually writing a redaction. Nice. In OneNote. We can close this, and this, and this. Alright. What are we gonna do today, boys? What should we hunt? On all civil responsibilities of dogs, cats, all justice. Cool. Sounds like a good time. There are no SOS flares. The fuck do you mean there's no SOS flares? I've never had it say there's no SOS flares unless there's an issue with an online lobby. There are no SOS flares found. What? That's so hard, bro, but when the passion is here? Yeah. What? There's no way there's not a single SOS flare out there. What is going on? What? I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Okay, well, I guess we gotta pick something. One of the ones we haven't done. Stygian Zinogre, sure. These are the only quests in the entire game we haven't finished. Oh, I forgot to eat. Shit, I don't know if you can eat on this mission. Oh, I gotta change categories. Hold on. And we want to SOS flare. Yes. Stream. Edit. Monster Hunter World. Go here. Here, and there, and there, and that. And that's good, and that's good. Alright. Okay, we can eat. And we will take a toke while we wait for someone to join the party. I like how the idea of the SOS flares, you get, like, before people join. How worth is it cross-streaming, do you reckon? Multi-streaming? I would say... in my opinion, look towards Penguin Zero, Moist Critical. He did a video on... Like, if I wasn't strained on time, I'd literally bring it up. Because he brings up a lot of good points about how if you're going to start streaming now, multi-stream. If you were streaming before, you can either multi-stream or not. It might split up your audience or something like that. But, like, if you're just starting out, start streaming. Number one thing, YouTube. Stream on YouTube because it saves all of your VODs. So you will always have your VODs and you never have to worry about them being deleted. Number two, stream on Kick because you never know. And then stream on Twitch because Twitch is just where everyone is. It just has its own ecosystem. So it just kind of sets it all up for you. But... like, if you're actually trying to get, like, off your feet, YouTube is what you want. Like, don't even bother streaming. Just make YouTube content and try to get that content a following. And then once you've got that content a following, then start streaming. Because the scattered content that you do when you're streaming doesn't allow for you to show like 100% what you're capable of all the time, whereas if you're putting out good videos, you can always be at 100%. Whereas what I try to do is I try to make videos of interesting things that happen on stream, like Asmon does, or like Charlie does, Moist Critical, Penguins, whatever you want to call it. That's my goal. But at this point, like, I don't have enough time to be able to do that. If you tune in to my next stream, you'll see I've basically copied your layout. Oh, that's fucking awesome. I love that. Thank you. That means a lot to me, because that means my layout is worth something if somebody else has decided to use it. My plan is to make videos based on what I'm doing on stream rather than make clips. Exactly, right? And it's like, all of the lore and exploration and everything that I talk about with my book, I'm compiling videos for in the background that I will release in, like, lore order when I have, like, solidified the certain things. But I don't want to, like, keep releasing videos and then keep updating them as I get new lore. So it's kind of just everything's sitting in the background for now. But I'm going to make an entirely separate, like, channel specifically for YouTube for doing that. I'll upload everything onto my YouTube I stream on, but then from there, everything will be split between, like, my clips, my highlights, and my short stories, and my novel. So I'll have, like, 5 YouTube channels, essentially. That's the idea. But for now, it's just getting comfortable with being in this position. And once I'm, like, comfortable and, like, you know, now we've got this, like, cool layout for the stream and stuff. It's like, as the stream's evolving, like today, I was like, the one thing I want to do for the stream is, while we're doing the stream, I want to, in my mind, keep mental notes of timestamps of things that would be interesting to turn into a video. But most of the videos would be, like, reading the short story of the speed runs, and, like, doing, like, oh, hey, can AI write a better story than me? Kind of idea. And those kinds of things. Those are the kinds of videos that I want to make. I want to be like Mr. Ballin, but for, like, fantasy. And my thing for, like, multi-streaming is, like, Valiant Boy, you can attest to this, and you can give your insight on this one, but you're either on one platform or you're on the other. Like, it's rare to find someone who is on Twitch and also on Kick, and, like, actively looking to watch streamers that are on that platform that are not, like, for instance, the only reason I even really know about Kick is because Odablock, and I used to watch Odablock on YouTube, and then when he went to Kick, I watched him on Kick. But it's like, Kick itself doesn't really have, like, the only reason I'm there is because of that, and then I stream on it. So I don't really look at a lot of people on Kick, whereas, like, on Twitch, the people that are on Twitch are on Twitch. So, like, Valiant Boy, do you watch streams on your Twitch account and on your Kick account, or do you only watch streamers who stream on those specific platforms because of their streamers? And I'm guessing you're mainly on Kick since you found my channel on Kick from the XQC acquisition. Yeah, I learned about it from Asmon as well, from, like, all the crazy fucked up Kick streamers and shit like that. And I'm like, yeah, I could do that, but with writing. And here we are. Which I think, I mean, we've come a long way in 6 months. That's what I'd say. From the acquisition of a Starforge PC. So hard for you what? To say that writing seems like a small ecosystem, so the plan is writing plus art. Yeah, and I do like AI art and stuff like that too, but eventually I want to learn how to draw, but I want to get a camera to show the desk looking like down so that you could like see me drawing. That would be the goal. Hard redact, bro. I told you. So you're telling me that that entire thing that I was talking about you and asking for your opinion you didn't hear? So I have to ask for your opinion again? Ow. Do you watch Twitch because of the streamer and Kick because of the streamer? Or do you watch, like, okay, I guess a better way to say it, let's step back. Like, what is your main platform Kick or Twitch? I'm guessing your main platform is Kick because you found me on Kick and not on Twitch. And if your main platform had been Twitch, you would have been searching for streamers on Twitch. Yeah, see, you're a main Kick. So it's like the people that are on Kick aren't on Twitch, and the people that are on Twitch aren't on Kick. So I don't feel, unless you have a previous audience on Twitch, you're not splitting your audience by going to Kick and multi-streaming. Because you're just going to find people that don't use the other platform there. And you have a higher chance of getting discovered by people who use both platforms. At least if, like, they're people that look at the bottom of the directory. At least for when it comes to Twitch. I don't know how it is when it comes to Kick, exactly how their directory system works. All I know is that for Twitch, discoverability is, like, you have to be someone who is either looking in a category like writing, where it's very minimal. There's only like 100 people in there at any like given time, at least in the English language. Or you have to be, like, oh god, going out of your way to find people that are at the bottom of the directory to try and find like a hidden gem. And I wouldn't consider myself a hidden gem. I'd say I'm exactly where I deserve to be. The bottom of the barrel for now. But the hope is to get somewhere up the barrel. And I mean, we're getting there. We are definitely getting there. It is a slow process, but it is a process. And now that I'm interacting more with the community and stuff, because I'm more comfortable, we're getting even farther. Like, we've been getting, like, we've gotten, like, 9 raids in total since we started streaming, and we've gotten, like, 4 in the last week. That's pretty impressive. I created a Twitch account since 3 days. Yeah, because you said you created that Twitch account to follow me on Twitch, which I appreciate. But I find I have more viewers on Kick because Kick is a smaller platform, and writing, there's no one in the writing category. So if someone's looking for writing on Kick, I'm the only one in that category. At this time zone, at least. From what I've seen. Because every time I try to host someone, there's no one in the category. So, can't raid people. And then I'm like, maybe I'll just go to the Monster Hunter category today and try to raid someone there. But the raiding system for Kick is weird, because you have to be following the person or like know what their specific name is for them to show up in the list. You can't just like search through a list of people, which is kind of annoying. Just because of a streamer that had problems and was supposed to be on Kick stream but switched to Twitch. Ah, I see. I've had my Twitch account forever, but like I've never really done anything with it. I never really watched Twitch. I just kind of had it. Oh god. He wants my dick! Why do I keep picking up fucking stones? Get these stones out of here! I want this fucking material! Before I fucking die. Never on Twitch, always ads, like an application Android. Yeah, Twitch is pretty bad for ads. I don't mind ads though. I just take a toke when an ad comes on. I just go to a different stream and then come back. Like, ads really aren't a problem to me. Plus, like, I actually hate it, because I used to love Twitch ads, because I don't watch TV. And I'm, like, Twitch would always have, like, ads for, like, Prime shows on Amazon. And this was, like, 2016, 2018, when, like, shows were good and shit, when, like, Stranger Things was in, like, season 3 and stuff like that. And it was like, oh man, I love Netflix, I love TV shows and stuff. And it's like a lot of the TV shows I was watching at the time, I learned of through Twitch ads. Because they were ads for the TV shows. And I was like, well, that's when you know ads are for, or like ads for a game, for instance. Like, and not like a fucking mobile game, like an actual game. Like an ad for Warhammer 40k. Or ad for, Sarah Monster Hunter W. Welcome, welcome. Oh god! Oh god, I'm dead! I'm dead! Fuck! I just had to get goddamn fucking... God damn it. I don't know how to set that up. Sorry. I'm new. I don't have commands for that. But you want to join the session and play along, good sir? Or ma'am? I have no idea how to even do that. If you could teach me, that would be much wonderful. Can I go like this? Does that work? Can you do that and then join? And help me kill this Stygian motherfucker? Don't be like Valiant Boy and be like, oh, I'm playing on the Switch. No offense, Valiant Boy. No, I'm just poking fun at Rise. Because, like, I mean, it was good, but it just... World took me out of the spectacle of being... Because I played the first Monster Hunter on PS2, then I played Monster Hunter Tri, and then I played Generations on the 3DS. And that was my first and only experience, beside my Friends For You account that I kind of played a little bit, of being... Oh my god, I'm fucking trapped. I'm an idiot. On the... Jesus Christ. I'm gonna die again. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? Happy, get over here. Oh shit. You gonna do it a third time? No, I think we're good. Is the Dragonator ready yet? Oh god. Oh god. Stygian's a scary fucking... scary beast. Ow. Motherfucker. We tried. Why am I getting hit by shit? This is bullshit! Come on. Just get these floaties on them, and we'd be good. Oh yeah, there we go, finally. Happy is carrying my ass. Oh, we got the mount again. Let's see if we can cut off his tail. Oof, he still hit me. I was like, bitch! And then he hit me. Didn't even get the words out. Okay. Can we get him? Jesus. Oh, come on! Let me hit the friggin' thing! He's like perfectly in line. There we go. He just wouldn't let me friggin' smack him. Give him a good smackaroonies. Oh no, I'm gonna die because I got cocky. Come on. Oh, okay, we're good. Oof. Ooh. He's going full gore! Ah! No, I just need his leg. Give me his leg. Not that leg! If you know, you know. Inside your circle now, bitch! What are you gonna do? Huh? You should be pretty close to dead. Oof, that hurt. But Happy is definitely carrying me. Oh, you break his horns? No, what did we break? Claw, maybe? I don't know. Favorite music of all monsters ever is Zinogre. His track is just so fucking good. Ah! Oh, that was scary. He's charging again. I think he's pretty beat. Missed. We're getting used to your shenanigans, bitch. Yes, we got the tail. Egg salad. I knew we could do it. Ow. Hit him where it hurts. Nice. Ah, damn. We thought we were hot shit. We was hotter shit. I need a face. Give me your face, bitch. Alright, here we go. Here we go. So unfortunately, this is going to be the only hunt we're going to be able to do because it took way longer and no one joined the hunt and couldn't find an SOS. So unfortunately, I don't know how much longer he's going to take me to kill, but I should be able to kill him before the half-an-hour mark. Nice, another mount. Oh, I broke a horn. At least one of them. Oh, and he's dead. I'm pretty sure my fly killed him, like my kinsect. Hit him in the face. Well, that's a good way to call it, guys. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. It was a bit of a short night tonight. Well, it's longer than usual. We're usually 3, but the last couple days we've been going pretty hard. But usually it's 3. We call it at 3. So 3:30 isn't too bad. It's a little bit past, but you know, it is what it is. Gotta do what you gotta do to keep alive, right? We gotta play some Monster Hunter, or what's the point? Gotta get at least one bit of gaming in near the end of the stream. But, as always, remember, if you can't say fuck you to your friends, who can you say? Who are we raiding? Who shall we raid? Hold on, I gotta check if okay, Nerd's AFK. I want to raid him, but he's AFK. I don't know if he's going to come back because he's on a 24-hour stream, so he might be taking a nap, and I don't want to drop you guys in the middle of butt-fuck nothing. So, looks like we're going with Amelia Rain.
And we have a similar issue here where our internet is heavily unreliable. So, I like, you know, so. Oh my goodness! And we got a raid? Hi! Thank you so much. Hi guys, welcome in. I know my timer's still going, but I am more than willing to chat while I work. Hey yo, welcome. But yeah, so where we're at, and like the fact that I can't get a job here, like I'm legally not allowed to get a job here.
There's no one in the Monster Hunter world? I'm so confused.
Brain process. This is the problem.
All right then. Yeah, I'm just fuck it. I guess we're just not getting hosted on Kit because there's literally no one. I could just drop in on like this person. I have no fucking idea.
Men wear makeup if they're feeling a bit rough and what? Yeah,
But let's
of course. I mean, they all do. All your favorite fucking actors and people on the.
There's no one else, so we're doing this. We just gotta find one and go for it, right?
Check. Yeah, I started it May of 2021. So
Long dog, but that's because I'm living in Scotland and you live in Australia. What just happened?
I
It toxic. I don't know how to say your name. Welcome in. Welcome in. It's so lovely to meet you. Thank you so much for the host. I'm Panda. It toxication. I got there. Welcome in, guys. I am Panda. We're on day 4 of my birthday subathon, and here. Stop that, Neo! No, double host. What's going on? We just got double hosted.